Reigns faces Oba Femi. Oba Femi sparks Raw chaos. Roman meets WWE's new monster. Oba Femi targets the tribal chief. Raw explodes after Roman clash. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. What happens when a man who already believes he runs WWE starts demanding acknowledgement again, at the exact same time another man is tearing through Raw like he's trying to destroy the building from the inside out? And honestly, did anyone else notice how uncomfortable the locker room looked the second Oba Femi showed up? Like people weren't selling fear anymore, they were actually nervous. Because Monday Night Raw didn't feel normal this week. It felt tense. Weird. Like something bigger was happening underneath everything we were watching. And somehow, Roman Reigns and Oba Femi managed to create two completely different kinds of chaos at the exact same time. One man walked in demanding respect. The other walked in acting like respect was already dead. And that combination? Yeah, that's dangerous. So the show opens, the crowd is already loud, everybody's waiting to see what happens next after all the madness from the last few weeks. And then Roman Reigns' music hits. And you could immediately feel the arena shift. That's still one of the craziest things about Roman, by the way. Love him, hate him, boo him, acknowledge him, whatever side people are on, the second that entrance starts, the entire mood changes. It's like the air gets heavier. And Roman walks out slower than usual too. Not injured. Not weak. Just deliberate. Like a king entering a room full of people he already thinks are beneath him. Paul Heyman behind him looking stressed as always. Honestly, Heyman permanently looks like he hasn't slept in 6 months, and Roman just stands there soaking in the noise. And here's the thing nobody talks about enough. Roman doesn't even need to yell anymore. That's the scary part. Old Roman used to scream into the microphone trying to convince everybody he was the guy. Current Roman? He speaks like he already knows he owns the place. And somehow that's even more arrogant. So Roman grabs the mic, pauses forever, crowd booing, cheering, doing the whole OTC thing, and then he finally says those words again. Acknowledge me. Simple. But the way he said it? Nah. It sounded less like a catchphrase and more like a warning. And Roman starts talking about disrespect. About betrayal. About people forgetting who built the modern WWE. He says everybody's too focused on the next big thing, the next monster, the next unstoppable athlete, while the real tribal chief is standing right in front of them. That line hit hard. Because we all knew exactly who he was talking about without him even saying the name. Oba Femi. And listen, if you've been watching this guy lately, you already understand the problem. Oba Femi doesn't carry himself like a rookie. He doesn't walk like somebody trying to impress the audience. He walks like somebody who already believes he's inevitable. That's terrifying. There's something different about him. WWE has had big men before. Strong men before. Dominant men before. But Oba moves like destruction is casual for him. Like breaking people apart is just another Tuesday. And Roman clearly sees it too. That's why this segment felt so layered. Roman wasn't just demanding acknowledgement from the fans. He was indirectly demanding acknowledgement from the locker room, from management, maybe even from Oba himself. Almost like he could feel the spotlight slowly shifting away from him. And if there's one thing Roman Reigns hates, it's losing control of the narrative. So Roman keeps talking. Says nobody on Raw has earned the right to stand beside him. Says the WWE locker room has gotten soft. Says everybody claiming to be the future eventually gets smashed by the reality of who he is. Then he says something interesting. He says monsters come and go. But there's only one tribal chief. Oh. The crowd reacted immediately because now it was obvious. Roman was absolutely talking about Oba Femi without saying his name directly. And honestly? That's smart. Because sometimes in wrestling, not saying the name makes it feel even more personal. And then, the arena lights shift. Not fully dark. Just enough. The crowd starts buzzing. Roman stops talking. Paul Heyman looks confused for half a second, which is hilarious because Heyman always looks like he just saw a ghost backstage, and then boom. Oba Femi's music hits. The reaction was insane. Not just loud. Different. There's this sound crowds make when they're excited, and then there's this other sound they make when they think something violent is about to happen. This was the second one. And Oba walks out with absolutely zero fear. That's the detail I loved most. No hesitation. No intimidation. No playing to the crowd. He walked straight toward the ring like Roman Reigns was just another obstacle standing in his way. That's crazy confidence. And Roman notices it too. You could literally see Roman's expression change slightly. Not panic. Roman doesn't panic. But there was this look like, okay. This guy really believes himself. Oba gets in the ring and stands face to face with Roman. Crowd losing their minds. Security already nervous on the outside. Heyman looking like he's preparing his own funeral speech internally. And then Oba smiles. Bro. That smile was uncomfortable. Not cocky. Not friendly. Just dangerous. And Oba says Roman keeps asking for acknowledgement, but maybe the real question is whether Roman can acknowledge that his time at the top is running out. Yeah. That line hit the arena like a truck. Roman's face instantly tightened. Crowd screaming. And suddenly this didn't feel like a promo anymore. It felt personal. Oba continues saying legends always think they're untouchable until somebody stronger arrives. Somebody faster. Somebody hungrier. Then he says something that honestly sounded cold as hell. You built an empire. I'm here to tear it down. Nah, man. That's villain dialogue. That's the kind of line you say before the soundtrack in the movie suddenly gets darker. And Roman finally steps closer. Nose to nose now. Crowd chanting. Tension building. You could feel everybody waiting for the punch. But Roman doesn't swing. Instead, Roman laughs. And that might have been more disrespectful than attacking him. Roman tells Oba he's impressive. Strong. Dangerous. But then he says every monster eventually learns the same lesson when they step into his yard. This business doesn't belong to giants. It belongs to gods. Okay, Roman, calm down, bro, this man thinks he's Zeus now. But that line got a massive reaction too. And for a second, just a second, it felt like they might actually leave it there. Then chaos exploded. Because out of nowhere, one of the security guys tries stepping between them after Roman shoves Oba slightly in the shoulder. Huge mistake. Oba grabs this poor man like he weighs absolutely nothing and launches him across the ring. I'm not even exaggerating. That security guard folded like a lawn chair at a barbecue. Crowd instantly loses it. Roman steps back surprised. Another security guard rushes in. Why do they always do this in WWE? Have these people never watched the product before? And Oba destroys him too. And now the whole atmosphere changes. Because Roman isn't smiling anymore. Oba starts wrecking everybody around ringside. Officials flying everywhere. One dude tried grabbing Oba from behind and immediately regretted every life decision that led him to that moment. The scary part is Oba wasn't even breathing hard. That's what sold the segment. He looked calm while destroying people. Roman watches the carnage carefully. And here's where things got really interesting. Roman didn't jump in immediately. He observed. Almost studying Oba. Like he was realizing in real time that this wasn't just another powerhouse. This might actually be a threat to the throne. And the crowd picked up on that too. You could hear the energy shift from "this is awesome" to "wait. Roman might actually have a problem." Finally, Roman steps forward and tries to take control again. He swings at Oba massive punch, but Oba barely moves. Barely. The crowd went insane for that visual. Roman hits another shot. Oba stares at him. And suddenly Raw feels less like a wrestling show and more like two final bosses accidentally spawning in the same room. Then Oba shoves Roman backwards so hard Roman crashes into the corner. Again, huge reaction. Because WWE protects Roman carefully. You don't often see somebody physically overpower him like that. And for a split second, it looked like Oba might actually destroy Roman right there. But then